They say sleep is healing. But what if the way you're ending your night is quietly draining the very hormone that makes you feel alive? Hi, I'm Dr. James Whitmore, and if you're over 50 and feeling tired, disconnected, or low on drive, you're not alone. But there's a natural way to fix it. This video is for the man who lies in bed staring at the ceiling, wondering where his fire went. It's for the woman who feels her partner slipping away, not from disinterest, but from something deeper and harder to name. And it's for anyone over 50 who wakes up groggy, foggy, and unrecognizable to themselves, wondering why, despite doing everything right, something still feels wrong. Maybe it crept in slowly. Your energy crashes earlier. Your motivation vanishes quicker. Your clarity is duller, your strength a little less reliable. You chalk it up to aging, or stress, or just life. But somewhere inside, a quiet voice is asking, is this really how it ends? Not with a crisis, but with a quiet fading. You're not broken, you're not lazy, and you're not alone. What you're experiencing may not be a failure of willpower. It may be hormonal. And there's one common nighttime habit that's making it worse night after night without you realizing it. You don't have to say it out loud. I've seen it in the silent pauses of men during appointments, in the hesitation of women who used to feel deeply connected but now feel invisible. This isn't just about physical exhaustion. It's emotional too. You go to bed hoping for rest, but wake up already tired. You move through the day with a sense of duty, not desire. And when evening comes, instead of feeling restored, you feel numb. No fire, no clarity, no spark. You don't recognize the person in the mirror. You smile at others, but it doesn't reach your eyes. The ache you feel, it's not just in your joints, it's in your spirit. And yet if you're here, that means you haven't given up. That ember inside you is still burning, even if it's buried beneath fatigue and fog. And you're right to listen to it. Let's talk about what's really going on inside your body. After age 50, your biology begins to shift. Testosterone, the hormone responsible for energy, motivation, libido, muscle strength, and emotional resilience, starts to decline. For men, the drop can be 1% per year starting in their 30s, but after 50, the slope gets steeper, and women are not exempt. While estrogen and progesterone take the spotlight in female health, testosterone plays a quiet but vital role in female energy, drive, and vitality. But there's more. As testosterone falls, another hormone begins to rise, cortisol, the stress hormone. And that shift becomes even more pronounced at night. The evening hours, once meant for restoration, become chemically charged with stress. Melatonin, the sleep hormone that regulates your circadian rhythm, also begins to drop with age, especially if you engage in the one habit we'll talk about shortly. And when melatonin goes down, your sleep becomes lighter, shorter, and less restorative. This means your body can't do what it's meant to do during the night: repair, rebalance, and restore. These aren't just tired muscles or low moods. This is your biology entering a kind of survival mode. Instead of producing energy, your body conserves it. Instead of rebuilding testosterone, it holds on to stress. That's when everything starts to feel like a grind. You begin to mistake hormonal imbalance for personality flaws, thinking you're just tired, unmotivated, or getting old. But the truth is, you're running on an empty tank because your body is being blocked from refueling. And the worst part, you might be unknowingly fueling that downward spiral with something you do every night, thinking it's harmless. In the next section, we'll uncover that common nighttime habit, the silent destroyer of testosterone, and show you the scientific evidence that explains exactly why it's making you feel this way and how to stop it. Because there is a way back. There always is. Your body is waiting. And it's not too late, not even close. So what is this nighttime habit that quietly erodes your hormones? It's not some rare behavior or medical anomaly. In fact, it's probably within arm's reach right now on your nightstand in your hand or glowing inches from your face. The answer: blue light exposure from screens. Whether it's scrolling through your phone, watching TV in bed, or checking emails on your tablet, that innocent habit has serious hormonal consequences, especially after age 50. Your body operates on a 24-hour internal clock, known as the circadian rhythm. This rhythm relies heavily on light cues. When your eyes absorb blue light, especially in the hours leading up to bedtime, your brain interprets that light as daylight. It suppresses melatonin production, the very hormone responsible for helping you fall into deep, restorative sleep. And that's just the beginning. Melatonin isn't just about falling asleep. It's about entering the deep stages of sleep where your body naturally produces and restores testosterone. A 2007 study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association showed that just 1 week of restricted sleep reduced testosterone in healthy young men by 10 to 15%. Now imagine what happens when poor sleep, blue light, and age-related decline are stacked on top of one another night after night. For men, this means lower energy, weaker libido, reduced muscle mass, and a general sense of fog and fatigue. For women, melatonin suppression disrupts more than just sleep. It impacts testosterone, estrogen, and progesterone, leading to mood swings, disrupted intimacy, and accelerated aging. Your body isn't just tired, it's confused. Your hormones are trying to do their job, but the signals have gone haywire. But it goes even deeper than that. Because screen exposure doesn't only affect melatonin, it also activates your stress response. Think about the last thing you consumed before sleep. Was it breaking news, a dramatic video, a heated comment thread? Your brain doesn't know the difference between digital stress and real-life danger. It reacts the same way by elevating cortisol, the stress hormone. And cortisol is testosterone's greatest enemy. When cortisol goes up, testosterone goes down. It's that simple. So every time you lie in bed with your phone in hand, you're inviting a perfect hormonal storm: melatonin suppression, cortisol elevation, and testosterone blockage. All at the precise moment your body needs healing and repair. You may think you're winding down, but your body, it's getting wound up chemically, emotionally, and hormonally. This isn't about guilt, it's about awareness, because the impacts are real. Poor sleep doesn't just leave you feeling groggy. It disrupts your metabolism, increases inflammation, lowers your immunity, and accelerates aging. And when that sleep is sabotaged by screens, your body enters a state of constant recovery mode, never fully catching up. That's why you wake up already exhausted even after 7 or 8 hours in bed. That's why your workouts don't feel like they used to. That's why your desire for life, for intimacy, for purpose starts to slip through your fingers. But here's the good news: your body wants to heal. It's not resisting change. It's waiting for a signal that the environment is safe again. When you reduce or eliminate screen time in the final hour before sleep, everything begins to shift. Your melatonin begins to rise naturally. Your cortisol begins to fall. Your nervous system resets. Your sleep deepens. And your testosterone, the silent foundation of your strength, energy, and drive, finally has the space to rise. A Harvard study found that participants who removed all screen exposure 90 minutes before bedtime experienced a meaningful increase in melatonin and deeper sleep within just 3 nights. Think about that. 3 nights. That's how fast your body will respond when you give it the right conditions. So here's the metaphor. I want you to remember your body is like a house. Testosterone is the furnace, and sleep is the time your system replenishes the fire. But every time you stare at your screen before bed, it's like opening the windows in the middle of winter. You let all the heat escape. And by morning, you're cold tired and running on empty. But the furnace still works. The house still stands. You just need to close the windows and protect the fire. This one change can alter the course of your energy intimacy and emotional strength. All it takes is intention. In the next part, we'll explore what to do instead, the 3 simple nighttime habits that restore your hormones, deepen your sleep, and rebuild your sense of power and presence. Because you don't need pills, stimulants, or complex plans. You need a rhythm, a ritual, a way back to yourself. And it begins with what you choose to not do and what you choose to do in its place. Now that you understand what screens are doing to your hormones and why it's essential to break the cycle, let's talk about what to do instead. Because the truth is, stopping a bad habit isn't enough. You need to replace it with something better, something your body recognizes as safe, nourishing, and restorative. These 3 simple nighttime habits aren't just feel-good tips, they're biologically aligned with how your hormones are wired to work, especially after 50. They don't require perfection, just intention. Let's begin with light, specifically the right kind of light. Your body evolved to respond to the rhythms of nature. Bright sunlight during the day, warm firelight in the evening. But most homes today are lit with cold, harsh LEDs. And these artificial lights, especially bright overhead bulbs, continue to suppress melatonin even after the sun sets. That's why the first powerful habit is what I call the candlelight wind down. At least 1 hour before bed, begin dimming all the lights in your home. Switch off overhead lighting. Use warm-toned lamps, Himalayan salt lamps, or better yet, light a few candles. Yes, actual candles. Candlelight tells your brain it's nighttime. It mimics the glow of firelight, something your nervous system has trusted for thousands of years. This isn't just about ambiance. It's biology. A 2018 study in Chronobiology International found that exposure to warm-spectrum lighting in the evening increased melatonin levels by up to 58% compared to standard blue-toned LEDs. That means deeper sleep and stronger testosterone restoration. So make it a ritual. At 8 or 9 p.m., begin the transition. Let your home feel softer, slower, safer. Light 1 candle as a signal, not just to your environment, but to your brain and hormones. It's time to return to myself. Next comes the magnesium tea ritual, a nightly pause that nourishes your nervous system while preparing your body for deep hormonal repair. Magnesium is one of the most vital minerals for people over 50, yet it's also one of the most commonly deficient. Without it, your muscles stay tense, your mind stays anxious, and your sleep remains shallow. Worse, magnesium deficiency is strongly linked to low testosterone and elevated cortisol. But instead of taking another pill, consider a calming tea blend enhanced with magnesium. Start with a warm base of chamomile known for its calming anti-inflammatory effects. Add lemon balm or hibiscus for added relaxation. Then stir in a small amount of powdered magnesium glycinate or citrate, which are more bioavailable forms. Sip slowly. Let this be more than just a beverage, make it a ceremony. As you drink, breathe deeper. Slow your pace. Let your nervous system register the message, I am safe now. I am winding down. A 2021 clinical study published in Nutrients found that magnesium supplementation not only improved sleep quality in older men, but also significantly boosted testosterone levels within just 4 weeks. This isn't hype. This is what happens when you support your body's needs instead of overriding them. And the beauty of tea. It gives you something tangible to hold and savor, something to do with your hands instead of reaching for your phone. Finally, the third and often most overlooked habit, the 3-minute journal. This one surprises people. What does writing have to do with hormones more than you think? The thoughts you take to bed matter. When you carry stress, guilt, worry, or emotional residue into sleep, your brain stays active and cortisol lingers. That blocks testosterone production, fragments your sleep, and keeps you stuck in a cycle of exhaustion. But when you take just a few minutes to release those thoughts onto paper, everything shifts. Your journal doesn't have to be deep or poetic. Just 3 simple prompts. What was good today? What am I letting go of? What do I want to feel tomorrow? This gives your mind closure. It tells your body the day is done. And it activates the part of your nervous system responsible for rest and digestion, the parasympathetic system. A randomized trial published in Psychosomatic Medicine showed that even brief journaling before bed significantly reduced cortisol levels and improved perceived sleep quality in adults over 50. So think of journaling as brushing your emotional teeth, clearing out the clutter so your mind can finally go quiet. When you combine these 3 habits, Candlelight Magnesium tea, and a 3-minute journal, you create a powerful hormone healing environment that requires no medication, no radical diet, and no external fix. Just a return to rhythm, to simplicity, to stillness. This is what most people over 50 are missing. Not more information, not more effort, but more intention. When you give your body the cues, it understands. Soft light, mineral nourishment, emotional closure. Your hormones respond almost automatically. Melatonin rises, cortisol drops, testosterone rebuilds, and you start to feel like yourself again, not just in the morning, but from the moment your head hits the pillow. This is the difference between drifting off while doom scrolling and drifting off into deep, healing sleep. In the next section, we'll bring all of this together into one clear, doable evening routine. You'll see exactly how to structure your nights and how within just 7 days, you can begin to feel the shift. Because the path back to vitality doesn't begin in the morning. It begins at night with what you choose to let go of and what you choose to invite in. By now, you know the enemy and the damage it causes. You've also been introduced to the natural solutions that start to reverse that damage. But knowledge is only the beginning. What you need now is a path, something simple, repeatable, and grounded in real life. Because at this stage of life, you don't need more complexity. You need clarity. Let's build a 3-step nighttime routine that your body will recognize as healing. One that lowers stress, supports testosterone production, and allows you to rest without guilt. This isn't a to-do list. It's a return to rhythm. A sequence your body once knew long before screens, deadlines, and constant distractions replaced silence and sleep. Step 1 begins at sundown. As the natural light fades, shift the energy in your home. Turn off bright overhead lighting. Replace it with warm-toned lamps, dimmers, or candles. If you've been using screens all day, this is your moment to separate. Let this be the signal that your body is safe. It doesn't need to perform anymore. It can begin to slow down. This isn't just a mood-setting trick. It's circadian intelligence. Your body evolved to respond to light. When you lower the light source both literally and emotionally, your melatonin starts to rise. And that means better, deeper sleep is already on the way. If you like, add a personal ritual here. Light an essential oil diffuser. Play soft instrumental music. Read something calming. You're not wasting time. You're building hormonal safety, a signal to your nervous system that it's finally okay to let go. Step 2 begins about 1 hour before bed. This is your sacred window. During this time, eliminate all screens, completely, no exceptions. Let your devices charge in another room. This isn't punishment. This is liberation. You've given enough of yourself to the outside world. This is when you come back home to your body, to your thoughts, to your breath. Make your magnesium-rich tea. Let the steam rise. sip it slowly. This is more than a drink, it's medicine in a cup. You're hydrating your body, soothing your nerves, and replenishing the mineral most commonly deficient in people over 50. Magnesium works silently. It relaxes your muscles, balances your cortisol, and allows testosterone to begin rebuilding, molecule by molecule, while you rest. And while you sip, take out your journal. Just 3 minutes, 3 prompts. What was good today? What am I letting go of? What do I want to feel tomorrow? This is emotional hygiene. When you write down your thoughts, your nervous system exhales. You stop carrying the weight of the day into the fragile hours of the night. You create space not just on paper, but inside your mind. This simple habit done consistently tells your body that the day is complete, that it's safe to enter deep sleep. That restoration, not vigilance, is what's needed now. Step 3 begins when you finally lie down. This is where it all comes together. Your body is primed, your hormones are ready, your heart rate is calm, the tea has done its work, the journal has cleared the static, and now the only thing left is surrender. Take one deep breath in through your nose and exhale slowly through your mouth. Feel the weight of your body against the bed. There is no performance here, no checklist to complete. Just rest. Pure, undisturbed, healing rest. Because here's what happens in those next 7 or 8 hours. Testosterone begins to rebuild. Melatonin reaches its peak. Cortisol lowers. Muscle tissue repairs. Emotional wounds start to process. And the next version of you, the one you want to meet in the morning, starts taking shape. But it only happens if you allow it. If you do this routine for just 7 days, you'll likely begin to notice the shift. You'll wake up without that fog clinging to your brain. Your energy will return not in a dramatic explosion, but as a steady, grounded strength. You'll feel more emotionally balanced, less reactive, more in control. And yes, you'll feel more alive. Your partner might notice too. A subtle spark returns to your eyes, a softness in your mood, a confidence in your voice. These are not fantasies. These are the chemical consequences of rest and rhythm, the rewards of honoring your biology instead of ignoring it. Because testosterone isn't about youth, it's about vitality, about clarity, about a man or woman who feels centered in their body and clear in their mind. And that kind of clarity doesn't come from supplements alone. It comes from what you do or don't do every single night. So give yourself this gift. Turn off the noise. Protect the quiet. Reclaim the night. Because the most powerful decision you'll make today might be the one that happens just before you fall asleep. If you've made it this far, I want to tell you something most people your age rarely hear. I see you. Not just your effort, but your quiet strength. That part of you that still believes change is possible, even after years of feeling overlooked, tired, or stuck. Because if you're still here, it means something inside you is still reaching, still hoping, still fighting not to become someone else, but to come home to yourself again. That voice you've been hearing, the one telling you that something's off. I want to feel like me again. That voice is not wrong. It's wisdom. It's your body and soul trying to course correct. And it's time we stopped ignoring it. This isn't just about hormones. It's about reclaiming what life slowly stole from you. Energy, clarity, emotional connection, even the sense that your presence still matters. Because when testosterone declines, when sleep breaks down, when your body stops healing the way it used to, it doesn't just affect your health. It affects your identity, your confidence, your spark. You've spent a lifetime giving to your family, your work, your responsibilities. You sacrificed your time, your rest, your dreams, sometimes even your health. because that's what strong people do. But strength without restoration becomes depletion, and at some point, even the strongest need to be refueled. Now is that time. This routine you've learned, dimming the lights, sipping your tea, journaling with intention, may seem simple, but it's not about the ritual. It's about what the ritual symbolizes: that you are worthy of care, that your well-being still matters, that the best version of you doesn't require youth, it requires alignment. You're not chasing youth anymore. You're reclaiming power. Power in the form of calm mornings, steady energy, a body that responds, a mind that feels sharp and alive, a heart that still wants to connect. This is the real goal, not perfection, not performance, but presence. To feel like yourself again, to feel available for life again. And it begins every night when you choose not to give your final hour to a device, but to your own restoration. So here's my invitation. Not a challenge, not a prescription, just a gentle call. Start tonight. Close the laptop. Silence the phone. Light one candle. Make one cup of tea. Write one true sentence. Breathe deeply. And give your body the message it's been waiting for. It's safe now. You can heal. If you do this not perfectly, just consistently, something will begin to change. Not all at once, but quietly, slowly, like spring returning after a long winter. And one morning soon, you'll wake up and something will feel different. You'll stand a little taller, smile a little easier, and hear that quiet voice inside whisper, "There you are." If this message spoke to you even just a little, I want you to do something small but powerful. Comment below. I'm ready, not for me, for you, as a signal to yourself and maybe to someone else scrolling through the comments who needs to see that they're not alone. And don't miss our next video. Stress is secretly crushing your hormones after 50. Because knowing the warning signs can help you stop the spiral before it goes any deeper. You're not behind. You're not too late. Your best years aren't over. They're waiting right on the other side of a single conscious choice. One quiet evening, one night of stillness, one moment of remembering who you are. So tonight, protect your night, protect your rest, protect you. Because you were never meant to fade, only to evolve. And your next chapter, it's not about survival. It's about coming fully alive, one breath, one night, one choice at a time.